Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play, or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for
Angel Reese's much-hyped entry into a major spotlight was met not with celebration, but a quiet disappointment. Her marketing efforts, designed to spark widespread excitement, simply didn't connect, revealing a public wary of manufactured buzz. The core misjudgment, believing the organic, undeniable magnetism of a phenomenon like Caitlin Clark could be duplicated. This revealed a strategic flaw, attempting to ride someone else's hard-earned cultural wave, rather than forging a unique legacy through genuine impact.
We shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out, and I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to...
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game was meticulously choreographed to be Angel Reese's crowning moment, a grand debut for her Reebok signature sneakers and a localized I'm in your city campaign. The strategic decision to launch this in Indianapolis, effectively Caitlin Clark's established territory, was intended to leverage Clark's built-in audience for unprecedented attention and sales. Yet this calculated maneuver backfired spectacularly. It served as a stark public lesson. Genuine star power is never a manufactured event, and basing an entire personal brand solely on another's established brilliance is a demonstrably losing strategy.
You only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be.
Let's pivot to the mechanics of this high-profile misstep. The launch of Angel Reese's signature Reebok sneaker, the Angel Reese 1, released in two distinct colorways. This debut was aggressively positioned as a pivotal moment for women's basketball fashion. Reebok invested heavily, synchronizing the shoe's release with the WNBA All-Star Weekend to generate maximum public visibility and sales. However, this meticulously planned alignment inadvertently created a calamitous confluence of events, striking precisely at the least opportune moment for the intended narrative.
It's one of those things where it's like it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at.
Angel Reese constructed her entire promotional strategy on a singular, profound miscalculation. The assumption that Caitlin Clark's all-star presence would automatically trigger an audience surge, directly translating into significant sneaker purchases. Rather than cultivating an autonomous platform or developing a distinct personal narrative, Reese staked her entire endeavor on mere proximity. The strategy was predicated on the belief that Clark's undeniable star power would passively transfer simply by sharing the same physical space.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint.
The pivotal moment, a cruel twist of fate, arrived just days before the All-Star spectacle. Caitlin Clark suffered a groin injury. The league's singular biggest draw, the player capable of transforming any minor fixture into a national conversation, was suddenly relegated to the sidelines. Her absence instantly deflated the carefully constructed anticipation surrounding the event.
So the WNBA's All-Star Game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only could draw that. So
the unvarnished truth, revealed through irrefutable metrics, paints a far more stark picture than any pre-event hype. The 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, undeniably propelled by Caitlin Clark's magnetism, commanded a colossal 3.44 million viewers, a bona fide cultural phenomenon. Fast forward to 2025, with Clark sidelined, viewership plummeted to a mere 2.19 million, a brutal 36% decline. The profound irony, this substantial drop occurred in Indianapolis, an event geographically and conceptually predicated upon Clark's immense drawing power.
The WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up, and you need to have a talk with your...
Angel Reese observed her meticulously constructed marketing blueprint disintegrate in real time. Ticket prices, once projected to surge, instead experienced a crushing 48% freefall the instant Caitlin Clark's injury was confirmed, plummeting from an optimistic 121 to a paltry 64 cents. Even the secondary market, typically a bastion for high-demand events, offered no reprieve. Without the league's paramount star on the court, fan interest evaporated. Yet nothing underscored the profound strategic misjudgment more acutely than Reese's aggressive "I'm in your city" campaign, launched specifically in Indianapolis, Clark's adopted home, precisely when Clark herself was incapacitated and unable to play. The sheer audacity of the timing transformed a planned marketing coup into an undeniable public relations catastrophe.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be.
Reese's campaign aggressively deployed billboards, pervasive social media posts, and messaging brazenly declaring, "I run this city," complete with Instagram clips and promos like, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap." However, this audacious approach profoundly backfired. The attempt to assert dominance over another's established territory while that individual is visibly injured and unable to compete doesn't project strength, it broadcasts palpable desperation. The public swiftly detected this vulnerability, igniting a social media firestorm. Critics swiftly articulated the underlying truth: she can't even market her own shoes without cloud chasing Caitlin Clark. Another remarking on the perceived surplus of photographers compared to genuine fans. The entire spectacle evoked the uncomfortable image of a victory claimed not through genuine contest, but through default, attempting to seize a symbolic crown when the legitimate reigning figure was conspicuously absent.
You can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose, and they record them as rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And wave to you.
Let's dissect the cold, hard facts. Angel Reese's meticulously staged weekend in Indianapolis, complete with a signature shoe launch, pervasive billboards, and social media blitz, failed to ignite the anticipated widespread enthusiasm. Despite her claim on the city and the All-Star Game being played in her territory, the intended hype simply didn't translate into genuine public engagement. The WNBA's subsequent PR maneuver, attempting to spin 2025 viewership by comparing it to 2023 figures and and conveniently overlooking the unprecedented 2024 numbers driven entirely by Caitlin Clark, fell flat. What this exposed was an uncomfortable truth. Without Clark, broad league interest regressed to pre-surge levels. The most telling statistic? The Friday Night Skills Challenge and 3-point contest, which drew 1.32 million viewers, a 90% jump, was not due to any new star, but the residual effect of Clark's unparalleled draw. Viewers tuned in, still hoping for a connection to the singular player who reshaped the sports landscape.
Shot across thou bow. All right. And your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real.
Angel Reese's miscalculation extended far beyond mere timing. She fundamentally misunderstood the very nature of genuine star power, witnessing the instant sellouts of Caitlin Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Pro sneakers, which routinely commanded astronomical resale premiums. Reese seemingly believed this success was an easily replicable blueprint for her own brand. However, the harsh reality is this: Clark's merchandise doesn't disappear from shelves due to mere branding. It's driven by her profound, authentic connection with fans. Her audacious style, unvarnished genuineness, and undeniable on-court influence are what compel people to invest in her. Nike's monumental $28 million 8-year endorsement deal with Clark was not a speculative gamble on fleeting hype, but a calculated investment in a generational talent with the proven capacity to reshape cultural narratives. Industry experts project her upcoming signature shoe could independently generate $100 to $150 million in revenue, a forecast grounded in tangible metrics like record-shattering viewership and a deeply engaged fan base. In stark contrast, Angel Reese's All-Star Weekend shoe debut, the Angel Reese 1, landed with minimal fanfare and even less impact. Its rollout felt less like a confident market entry and more like a desperate plea for relevance, largely ignored by the broader public.
There's no comparison between y'all two. You hear me? And she has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike is better than Reebok last time I checked. And Angel, me bound pray up Reese. Last time I checked, you said Indianapolis was racist and they was dangerous. Why did you show up? Because you could have just watched from the crib. You hear me? So let me tell you this. Please stop associating my precious Cece with the trap. She don't know what a trap is. At the end of the day, she might know what a rat trap or mouse trap is, okay? But anything else other than that, please do not.
Even Reebok, Angel Reese's own sponsor, appeared to acknowledge the inherent strategic flaw. A revealing moment captured on Netflix's Power Moves, featuring Shaquille O'Neal, showed the NBA legend discussing the necessity of Reese wearing Reebok during her games against Caitlin Clark. This wasn't merely a brand endorsement, it was a candid admission that the brand was leveraging Clark's immense appeal to bolster Reese's visibility, rather than cultivating Reese's independent star power. Reebok, the very entity tasked with elevating Reese, was effectively using Clark's luminosity to enhance Reese's marketability. By the All-Star Weekend's conclusion, the pervasive awkwardness was undeniable. Reese's post-event social media dispatch: "This was the most fun I've had in a while because of the players. Shout out to y'all, back to the regularly scheduled program," resonated with an unintended subtext. Her pointed emphasis on players seemed to carry a subtle, perhaps unconscious slight against the Indianapolis fans, who, ironically, had shown her surprising support. Yet even in what should have been her own moment, the towering shadow of Caitlin Clark persisted.
One of his genius decisions was this: fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark and like scampering back to get the ball and then shooting again real fast and it just doesn't come anywhere near the hoop. That is If you haven't seen her play, that's what it is. Put that image here. That is her.
The repercussions were already set. Angel Reese's signature shoe debut, intended to capitalize on All-Star Weekend's momentum, instead fizzled. Viewership declined, starkly highlighting the league's palpable dependency on Caitlin Clark's presence, which inevitably eclipsed Reese's own narrative. Her aggressive "I'm in your city" campaign projected an image of chasing rather than commanding attention, clearly revealing its reliance on Clark's existing spotlight. This was no mere branding oversight, it was a profound misapprehension of how authentic star power truly blossoms. Caitlin Clark's immense popularity isn't engineered by sophisticated marketing campaigns, rather her established magnetic appeal enables those campaigns. Arenas don't fill because Nike dictates it, they fill because fans are genuinely enthralled to witness her play. Her sneakers vanish from shelves not due to slick advertising, but because consumers want a tangible connection to a player they profoundly believe in. The record-setting viewership isn't merely marketing wizardry, it's the direct result of Caitlin Clark consistently delivering a must-see performance that captivates millions.
Man, look, I don't know what the fuck Angel Reese was thinking. She wanted her shoe that just came out a couple months ago that cost $1,000. Now look, I'm all for athletes getting a shoe deal, having their design, specified, perfect shoe that significant to them and to other fans. But $1,000 for a shoe, love, I love you, I really do. But you definitely been on some shit, like lately. I'm not going to lie to you. You have.
Angel Reese's All-Star Weekend strategy unequivocally demonstrated a profound misjudgment of authentic star power. She harbored the belief that the organic, magnetic buzz naturally generated by Caitlin Clark could be reverse engineered through aggressive marketing, meticulous timing, and localized campaigns. Yet the stark lesson learned was this: authenticity is an intrinsic quality, not a manufactured commodity. No amount of public relations spin can substitute the raw, undeniable impact of an athlete audience's genuinely desire to witness. Her shoe launch wasn't merely a commercial failure, it unmasked the significant chasm between forced hype and substantive influence. While Reese adorned Indianapolis with "I'm in your city" posters, the sole individual capable of filling that city's arena was paradoxically sidelined by injury. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game will not be remembered for Reese's marketing endeavor. Instead, its enduring legacy will be defined by the dramatic fallout of the league's biggest name being absent from the court, a crushing 36% viewership decline, plummeting ticket values, and widespread fan disillusionment. The collective message resonated unmistakably: true star power cannot be fabricated, and a personal brand cannot flourish by perpetually operating within another's established radiance.
Like, she is so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.
Angel Reese encountered a harsh, undeniable truth. Attempting to leverage Caitlin Clark's immense appeal to propel her own brand is not merely a flawed tactic, it's painfully transparent. In a sports landscape where fans prioritize genuine connection over manufactured hype, such a maneuver projects palpable desperation. The irrefutable data speaks volumes. The scores, the viewership figures, the conspicuous vacant seats, they all corroborate the narrative. Often the most brutal insights stem not from what transpired, but from what conspicuously failed to occur when the singular player who truly commanded an audience was absent. Angel Reese is distinct from Caitlin Clark. She always has been. This All-Star Weekend served as a stark public referendum, proving that any attempt to emulate or commercially exploit Clark's unique fame is an ultimately futile endeavor. Some critical lessons are absorbed quietly in preparation. This one unfolded in agonizing real time as millions collectively disengaged the moment the true luminary could not perform.